What are the things I can do on a hot summer day as a homemaker? What new recipes were worth to try this week? What's worth to preserve this summer? Fun treats that are easy to make and fun to serve, and many more. Stay until the end to see them all. I grabbed a few ingredients from our local store in the early morning because today is gonna be a hot day and I wanna prepare something that feels really nice to eat on the summer. Last week, I filled up the freezer with a bunch of breakfasts, and this is the last piece of it, and somebody put it into the oven while I was at the store. So that system works really well, and I'm going to make more in the future. I harvested some chives yesterday and I put it into the dehydrator for overnight. Today I completely dry and I like to use the dehydrator on the deck. This is my second kitchen for the summer. I like to use the dehydrator outside because it doesn't generate heat inside of the house. And this dehydrator is not loud, but when you have to listen all day, this it can get annoying. So it's nice to just put it outside. I keep it in the shade. Even further, when I know we're not going to have rain, I just let it run during the night. And if you want to achieve a nice vibrant color, keeping the setting on 100 Fahrenheit will help you to achieve that. And to give a longer shelf life, I have this vacuum sealer. This is one of my favorite ways to preserve things from my garden, but there are certain vegetables that do better than others when you dehydrate them, and I like to make spices and soup mixes, mushroom does well, lemon slices. I can just add it to some water or tea or just throw it on the top of the fish that I'm baking, but this way it doesn't require a lot of work to preserve them. These colorful peppers are on my list for next, and I like to prepare soup mix, and I have a vegetable mix as well. It works like a vegetable broth, but it's in the powder form.
And I wondered how you're always right. It gets me.
Carrots are next on my list, and instead of cutting them and chopping them up into little cubes, I'm going to shred that because it creates a thinner surface, so it will be easier to dehydrate them.
Still gets me. When I look back, I can see you're hiding, waiting for a
Talking about storing dehydrated food, this is one of my favorite ways to create coconut milk. I have coconut flakes, and I like to have this measuring cup that has the oval shape so it's easy to reach into my jars. And I'm going to make some coconut milk. This is gonna be the base of our favorite summer food, and coconut milk does better with heat. So while I prefer a little bit more of the almond milk flavor, but the coconut milk is just creamier and just does better with the temperature. All the pulp that has left from making the coconut milk, I'm just going to dehydrate that as well, and later once it's dry, I'm going to grind it, and that will create a coconut flour. So even though I have a fresh milk, I don't have to purchase a coconut flour either. I save a lot of money by making my own coconut milk and coconut flour. I'm preparing and gathering all the ingredients that I'm gonna need for the cooking, which I will do outside since it's a very hot day. Using OxyClean and Salsa on the shoes and the power of the hose on the jet setting. That's how I'm going to clean these shoes, and I always do this on the summer when we have a relatively hot day, so I don't mind if I get splashed over with the water. But truly, I have tried to wash the shoes in the washing machine. Nothing can replace the jet setting on the hose. I'm also going to get the ball rolling on the other items that I want to dehydrate, and that would be the celery leaves. All the lettuce will make it to the chickens, and that's what they're going to munch on. Once the shoes are soaked, the OxyClean and the Sunshine will do the job. I just let them sit here for a while. My dehydrator is full, so I'm going to use this handy basket to dehydrate the celery. It has a little top part that I can close from the bugs. Setting up my summer kitchen. So much nicer to cook outside where we have a little bit of a breeze. I don't heat up the house. Sometimes I cook on the deck, but it's really hot. There is scorching hot. This shady part in front of the studio will be just perfect. As I do things around the house, I burn food very often, and it's because I forget about it, let alone if I go outside to work in the garden. So now, here comes the solution. I will keep an eye on this cooking while I'm gardening, because it's gonna be on the convenient spot where I can see it, I can check on it, because I have to stir it quite often. This is a Hungarian fruit soup, and this is our favorite for the summer. It's best to eat once it's cold, but it's still good when it's warm too. And I made the coconut milk. I'm adding some tapioca starch. I added about 1 cup starch for this big pot pot of coconut milk. I'm going to color it with some dragon fruit. I'm going to put some cherries in there as well, and that can color it nicely, but the dragon fruit or pitaya, it just creates a more vibrant color. I adding some maple syrup and adding cinnamon and cloves, about 1 teaspoon from each. And once it starts to get a little bit more creamy as the tapioca starts to cook, I'm going to add all the rest of the fruits. I almost said vegetables. I added some peaches, apricots, and cherries that we pitted. Last year, I dried feverfews in the art studio's ceiling, and this year I have a different method, and I have some herbs as well that I wanna dehydrate for tea. Stirring the food quite often since it's prone to get lumps if I don't do that. But while I'm here and I can keep my eye on the soup, I'm going to paint a little. How convenient! 2 of my favorite spots, the garden and the studio, and I can keep my eye on the cooking. The soup is done, and the best when it's cold, but we're going to eat some while it's warm because it's just so good. It's very refreshing, it's light, it's not heavy on the stomach. It's really perfect for the summer. It's kind of like a lighter version of the pudding, but it got the fresh fruits in there. I cook it until they starting to get a little bit soft. And this is George's favorite, and I was just talking to him, what if I make this into an ice cream? If I would just grind the whole thing and I put it in the ice cream maker machine. The OxiClean and the Sunshine did their job. Now I'm going to give a little bit of a scrubbing, but you can already tell how much whiter it is on the edges. Now I'm going to put this on the most sunny spot, that would be the deck. I know it will get dry very fast. And I have some yarrow. I am going to hang these and dry them. The pulp that I dried from making the coconut milk, I'm going to grind it. Looks like the carrots are done. And what you guys have missed while I didn't have the camera rolling, that was yesterday night. We had a big wind, and as I was washing the dishes and I looked outside, I couldn't believe to my eyes. I heard a big weird noise, and I couldn't even think of it, what it could be, and I didn't have to think anymore because I saw it, and it was really high up. Like, our window in the kitchen is really high, and it was even higher. Our umbrella just took off and it was spinning in the air and flying off. I found it in the forest. I had to chase it down. So now I pay attention to close them when we have this big gust of wind. We usually get it at every night because we're living on the side of the hill, so the wind just rolls down like crazy. I soaked red lentils and quinoa for overnight with some apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of each. And I came across with a few recipes that were showing how to make buns out of them without any yeast and eggs and such, and I thought it would be fun to try. Okay, about 200 milliliter, 3/4 of cup maybe. I think it's a 3/4. It's actually 1 cup. Yeah. It's nice to try new things once in a while just to add to the variety, although I have no idea how is this going to turn out. I soaked 1 cup of quinoa and 1 cup of lentils. I added some garlic powder, onion powder, baking powder, 1 teaspoon of each. One of the recipe I watched, they fermented over 8 hours. The other one didn't ferment at all. So I'm gonna be there somewhere in between. I'm going to ferment 4 hours or so. This recipe I never tried before either. It only needs spinach and some oat flour, so I'm going to grind some oat. Since I have this oval-shaped measuring cup, it makes it easier to scoop anything that I want to put into a jar or something that is a little bit smaller size. This mixture is supposed to create a wrap. It's like a tortilla soft wrap. So we'll see. It's always worth to try to hide some vegetables here and there. It needed a little bit more water to get mixed, so I don't know if that will impact the recipe. And I need a wide dish to mix all together and blend it. So I'm going to move my lentil bun butter. Now I'm going to add the oat step by step, and I'm not really sure if I understood the recipe well. It seems like the oat that it required, it was way less, but it seemed like mine was very liquidy, but it could be because of the water. I don't know, we'll see that. But I added some olive oil as well. And one step that I forgot, swift the oat, just to make it a little bit more fine. The dough looks pretty promising, although it doesn't look the same what I saw in the video. In the video, it was more gooish. It's like almost blended a little bit more together. But maybe it could be because I didn't swift the oat flour at the beginning. So we'll see. Okay, I'm done with trying new things in the kitchen. Let's go and fix some stuff in the garden. Tomatoes are growing, and we had this huge wind yesterday, so they're gonna need some support. So I bought some bamboo sticks. I also cut up some of the leaves and suckers. It is getting hot outside, so I'm gonna go into the studio. I'm going to pack some orders. I learned from the yesterday wind incident. So today I had a new idea how to dry the flowers. I have this hanging rack, and instead of the clothes, I'm just going to put the flowers on it. This drying rack is actually very handy for many things, but as for now, I'm going to use it for the flowers. And once we have the big wind coming down on the hill tonight, I can just put them with one move into the studio. The flowers healed my soul from the latest disaster in the kitchen. So I'm back. I'm going to use some baking soda to wash the watermelon. My younger son loves watermelon, but he also loves Jello. So now I'm going to combine the two. We're going to just eat the inside of the watermelon. The pieces that didn't hold up in the scraping process, I'm going to mix it. I'm going to make some hibiscus tea. I decided on the hibiscus because of the strong color. Let's see the lentil buns. I have some sesame seeds. I am just going to roll them into shape and push them into the sesame seeds. And the texture, it's kind of light, foamy, I would say, and fluffy. It definitely surprising how these 3 or 4 ingredients are coming together. I think it's the psyllium dusk that creates this bubbly, foamy texture. I think if you have to avoid eggs and yeast, this is a good option. Although the psyllium dusk, just warning you, that can be a laxative if you eat too much. The celery and the peppers are done, and I have a smaller amount as of right now, but as I'm dehydrating more, I'm just going to add to the jar. The yarrow is done. I got some yellow kind, but those are not recommended for tea sipping. And I am thinking already Christmas. Yes, I said that out loud. But if I think about the amount I want to dehydrate, I have to calculate for that as well. And I can put together a nice selection of the teas for my friends, for even Christmas presents or on the fall.
Looks really good.
Spongy, without yeast and anything. I should wait, but I can't. So, but it's so hot. Ooh, I want to see the inside. That's not bad.
No, not at all. Let me smell it.
It's quinoa and lentils.
It smells like lentils, you know, but it looks good.
I think it smells like quinoa.
No, it's lentils.
Okay, let's wait. I think it smells like quinoa.
No, it's
Oh, it's
lentils.
half.
It's lentils.
This is a great option if you have to avoid eggs or yeast or any kind of flour. And I would say it's pretty surprisingly moist in the inside. It falls apart easily, so it's crumbly, but yet it's kind of juicy. It's not as dry as usually the gluten-free breads are. It's a very interesting texture, I would say. It's surprisingly good. And yes, I can taste the lentils and the quinoa. I mean, it was made half and half from that, so you will definitely taste that. And as for the watermelon project, it seems like the tea jello hardened very well. So let's see if it will hold up the cut. It does really good. It's actually easier to cut than I thought. It's just a fun way to upcycle the green part of the watermelon. Maybe I can put some black sesame seeds in there to represent the seeds. Well, that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if so, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!